The weather may be frightful outside, but after watching this movie, I'll take that over than having Krampus invade my house. What's up, guys? Icebird here, and I'm back from seeing Krampus. And my god, I am in love with this movie. I absolutely loved this movie so much. And so far, judging from what I heard from people, I think I might be the only person that loves the movie so far. All I've been hearing from people is it's alright, is what I'm hearing from people. And I think maybe it's just me, but I think it's partially because people went in with different expectations and what they got was completely different. It's either people were expecting for it to be a very scary movie, like how the trailer kind of made it look like. The trailer made it look like it was going to be a straight out horror film, for the most part, anyways. And I think that made people thought it was going to be very scary. And when you go into it, well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's kind of creepy, yes. But a lot of stuff that happens in the film is played more for laughs and entertainment value than to be actually scared. But there is some don't get me wrong, there's creepy stuff in the movie. But there is stuff in the movie that, without going into spoilers, is definitely more silly than scary and is meant to be as a joke and make laugh at the film. There are times you're supposed to just laugh at the film. So, it's one of those movies that is not a straight out horror film at all. Even though there's horror elements to it, it's definitely more funny at times than scary, in my opinion. Which is fine with me. I'm A-okay with that. I love me it's some dark comedy. I love it when it's done so well, and this movie does it perfectly, in my opinion. I love the dark comedy in this. And when there was horror aspects to it, it also nailed that perfectly, in my opinion. Anyways, but there's other people who I think walked out of this movie a little disappointed because it's from the same director from Trick or Treat. And as we all know, that's a fantastic Halloween anthology-ish kind of film. Kind of anthology, not really, but a little. Kind of is. But that was like, for a lot of people, a fantastic Halloween movie. In fact, in my opinion, it's like the best Halloween, anything Halloween related movie, period. Yes, even better than John Carpenter's Halloween, in my opinion, okay? That's just me. So going with that in mind, I guess a lot of people were expecting it to be like Trick or Treat, when in reality it really isn't. Aside from maybe some of the dark humor being similar to it. Some of it. Not a little bit of it is similar, but for the most part it's definitely different with it because Trick or Treat is one of those movies that was not afraid to be disturbing, gruesome. It was definitely an R-rated film, or be bizarre. Now, there's some bizarre stuff in here, but it definitely feels toned down for a PG-13 rating. But the reason why it didn't bother me, here's the reason why the PG-13 didn't bother me in this film. Because the director, Michael Dougherty, I can't remember his last name, but he kept saying in interviews, and maybe this is just him coming up with the excuse. Maybe he was forced to cut it down in the post-production, maybe. I don't think it was, though, judging from what he said. He said he wanted to make a movie kind of like Gremlins, is how he described it. He said he wanted to make a film similar to Gremlins in the sense of it's creepy, yes, but it's also a fun, entertaining, and also funny, silly movie for the whole family to go see. So the whole family can watch this, laugh together, be entertained together, be creeped out together, while they're all enjoying this movie about a family that's going up against demonic toys and Krampus himself. And there's more to it than that, but I'm not trying to avoid the rest because the rest would be spoilers, because the rest were not in the trailer. I'll probably talk about the spoiler stuff later. But that's the kind of movie he wanted to make. He didn't want to make another Trick or Treat, except it's for, Christmas instead of Halloween. If we wanted that, we're going to get a Trick or Treat 2 anyways, guys, okay? We're going to get a sequel to Trick or Treat, okay? Let's just keep it right there. And even though I thought it was going to be like that first, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, after seeing interviews, I was like, okay, I'm up for that. I'm up for a 80s PG, if you guys remember back in the 80s, PG was so today's, even beyond today's PG-13 rating, Like, if you watched Gremlins, like, Gremlins is a great movie. Like, hell, I got the movie right here, Gremlins. Gremlins is a fantastic movie. I love it. One of my favorite 80s movies to watch. Hell, I even like the sequel. I thought the sequel was also very good. But it was one of those movies that it was trying to be entertaining, funny for sure, but also scary at the same time. And Gremlins is creepy at times. There's parts that's disturbing in Gremlins that kids would watch and be terrified from. There's stuff in it that's creepy for kids, particularly, but still was an enjoyable, fun, silly, entertaining, and creepy at times film. And overall, somehow turns out to be a family film in the end. It's very bizarre how they do that. But that's what Krampus is. Even though I will say it's a bit more disturbing for the kids, it still is one that I recommend for the family, honestly. If you want to take your whole family out to see a movie that's meant to be silly, entertaining, but creepy at the same time, Krampus is the movie to go see. I thought it was a very enjoyable movie. Like, the plot being, this is where I'm going to suck at this, but I'm just going to say, parents and two kids, a daughter and the youngest son, who we focus on a lot. I think his name is Max. I can't remember. That's the one that I do suck at his names. I can't remember. Are kind of like getting a house, like, the in-laws are coming to visit. The in-laws, the children, the crazy aunt, not the crazy aunt, like the annoying aunt you have to deal with. And you also have the grandma who's also staying at the house, who's awesome. The grandma's awesome in this movie. And as a lot of family things happen during the holidays, the family doesn't get along. Everyone's not in the Christmas spirit. And the son, who still believed in Santa Claus, finally just gave up because everyone else was being so mean to him or didn't really treat him right. Even the parents, although the dad tries to treat him right, but it doesn't go so well. So he, as you see in the trailer, he rips up the letter he was going to send to Santa because he's like, I've given up. And he just tosses the letter out and he's like, I'm done. Well, that was enough to send Krampus on his way, because immediately afterward, a huge blizzard strikes, knocking all the electricity out, making transportation impossible, for the most part anyways, and no electricity. So they're stuck in this house, and, well, Krampus shows up to do his doing, which is to, if you know the origin, well, the origin goes like this. He takes naughty kids and takes them to hell. That's the origins of Krampus. So in this, that's pretty much what your assumption is going into the film is. It's Krampus taking not just the kids, but the whole family. In this version, it's not just kids. He takes the whole family to hell is what he does. And that's all I'm going to say from there, because that's a good spot to end when it comes to like what the plot's about, because the rest would be spoilers. And this is a movie I want a lot of people to see, because it's a very enjoyable movie. That's the thing, though. You can't go into expecting it to be a terrifying movie, because it's not a very scary movie. It's meant to be entertaining for what it's meant to be. It's meant to be, creepy at us, because there is creepy stuff in this movie. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, Krampus, he is terrifying in this movie. He'd scare the crap out of me. Like, the first time you ever see him is, like, a far distance point of view. Like, you see him on the roof from a distance. And when he leaps down and howls, it's terrifying. It's disturbing. Like, it does make you creep in your seat. You get chills. You literally do. Like, his form and some of the demonic toys he releases is also creepy. I will say there's one thing he has that's not in any way, shape, or form creepy, but it's meant for laughs. I'll get to it in the spoiler section, but because I don't want to spoil it for you people, because there's a lot of stuff that's not in the trailer that I don't want to spoil for anyone, because this is a very, very, very good movie. I love this movie. But yeah, Krampus is terrifying. Some of the demonic toys is terrifying to look at. Like, this is one of those movies where, just like Gremlins, it's one of those heartwarming movies in a way, because it has to deal with themes of family and what the true meaning of Christmas is all about. It's not being divided from each other, not being separate from each other, not being mean to each other, not about Black Friday sales. It's not about the gifts, not about any of that. It's about being together. It's about sacrificing. You're sacrificing part of your time, maybe your wealth, just everything about you, just to spend time of giving and being with each other. Giving not gifts, but giving time with each other and loving each other. That's like the main theme of the message here. Because without that, Krampus will get you. That's pretty much the message here is when you're not in the Christmas spirit, Krampus has all the reins to take you. Which is kind of bizarre in my opinion because apparently Krampus is supposed to be buddies with Santa Claus. And I'm not going by the movie, I'm going by the origins of Krampus. Which by the way, it's Krampus, not Krampus, Krampus. Get it right. And the origins, Krampus is buddies with Santa Claus. And Santa Claus lets Krampus deal with the kids who are naughty this year. And again, the origin is he takes them to hell. Which I'm sitting there going, that's like if God was buddies with Satan almost. That's like saying that whoever is not Christian, God's like, you know what, Satan, you can have that guy. He's a douche. You can have him. I feel like it's all like, I'm sorry if I made that a horrible comparison, but that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like the comparison is. It's very kind of weird. Especially when you see what goes on with Krampus and his crew, because, again, I'm not going to say anymore. I'm not going to try to spoil it, but my goodness, it's disturbing at times. But also fun. It's just one of those movies that when it's funny, it is funny. Like, I laughed so many times in this movie when it's intended. And when I was creeped out, it was during scenes that were meant to be creepy and disturbing. Because there was some creepy stuff in this movie, but definitely not the scariest movie I've seen this year. Definitely not. Like, if you want a legit scary movie that came out this year, then I would say go watch It Follows, because that's a much better legit horror film. This is meant to be a decent, not just decent, but in my opinion, a fantastic callback to the 80s and their PG-rated, kind of family-friendly, but also horror dark comedies, like Gremlins, for example. But also, in some ways, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was kind of a dark, kind of horror-ish at times, but it was definitely more of a dark comedy. But there was horror elements to that film also. But Beetlejuice is also a great movie also. It's kind of like a callback to all of those films, and I love it personally. Gripes, I will say, on a negative point of view, I will say, if I had to be, it's more nitpicky stuff, honestly, because I love the movie so much. I can't think of any real big problems with the movie. The acting is good from everyone. It's funny when it's funny. It's creepy when it needs to be. The design is fantastic. The practical effects they use is very well done. Very, very good. They use CG when necessary, and the CG is not the best I've seen, but for a low-budget film, the CG is pretty good, actually. It's pretty decent, but it's not the best I've seen, but when it's needed, they use it only when it's needed. And the CG, for what it is, it's fine for what it is. What else was there? Surprisingly, the score is also good. For some reason, the score is effective. There's something about the score that really affected me during the creepy scenes. That really did give me chills. It's very weird how the score really works in this movie, as well as the Christmas soundtrack they put in the film that also works. And also the ending, I will say there was once or twice during the movie where the film could have ended maybe a few minutes earlier, and it would have just been a fine ending. But for how it ended, on a very good note, personally, it's a very fitting ending to the film, in my opinion, that works, in all honesty. And this may sound like a spoiler, but it's pretty much the message of also not only themes with family, but also be careful what you wish for. Because trust me, yeah, it's one of those kind of movies, so just be on the lookout for that. It's definitely a movie of be careful what you wish for. Definitely. So that's all the positive things I can think of. The only thing I will say also, aside from going into the film, knowing that it's meant to be like a dark comedy, family entertaining film, not like a hard R-rated horror film or anything like that. Not meant to be like that. Aside from that, also, one thing you need to keep in mind is also, I will say this, Krampus doesn't really do anything until like around the 40-minute mark. It's one of those movies that does take a little bit of time till anything really starts happening. Like, the first 30 minutes is more or less kind of build up to it. Like, you do kind of see like a figure of Krampus early, but he doesn't do anything till like around the 40-minute mark. So it does take a while. But the reason why that didn't bother me is because you're kind of getting to know the characters, which, yes, I have some things to say about that. But for the most part, you're getting to know your characters, so it makes sense. You're kind of like building up to it. And in my opinion, it's a very good build-up. Because you don't see the face of Krampus till like near the end of the movie. And I thought it was a very good build-up to that. Because otherwise, you don't see his face. Not only that, but the trailers and advertisements never show his face, which I appreciate that. I appreciate that they don't show his face. Unlike movies like, unlike trailers like Terminator Genesis. And even the new Superman v Batman trailer reveal way too much in their trailers. To where it's like, what's the point of even watching the movie? I practically just watched the movie right there. Like, seriously, after watching Terminator Genesis, like, that trailer, that was the whole movie. It seriously was the whole movie. Because I remember walking out of Terminator Genesis just like, wow, that was a waste of time. I could have just watched that trailer and I would have got the exact same movie. But anyways. Negative-wise, I will say the in-laws, when they first show up, they kind of act a little dickish. They're kind of jerks. And they do get, it's one of those movies where over time they do become better and more likable. Like, they do become like the people you actually kind of care for. But the way they introduced them at first, I get what they were going for with that, but they came up as too douchey at first, to where it does kind of make you question, should I even care about these people? But eventually they do get better and more likable to where you start to actually kind of care for them and whatnot. So yeah, I will admit, the first time they made their first appearance a bit better. But aside from that, it didn't bother me, honestly. I was okay with them. But with that, because they got better over time, I actually did care for them when they got, if they ever died. Which, spoiler alert, there's some death in this movie that's actually pretty brutal for even a PG-13 rating. Some of them is brutal. But, which I love that personally. But, what else was there? In all honesty, that's all I could think of. Like, that's the only thing I could really think of that I guess I could nitpick about it. Aside from that, I don't really have much to say about it, nitpick-wise. Or even negative-wise. I'm fine. Like, aside from the characters coming introduced maybe a little better, I enjoyed the movie very much. I thought it was a very good movie. In fact, honestly, I don't think I'm going to do spoilers. There's no point. Like, I could say more about the film, but I don't want to. It's one of those movies that I'm just like, go see it. Just go see it. Just go have fun. That's exactly what the movie's meant to be. Go have fun. And I loved it for that. It makes up for my disappointment in The Good Dinosaur. It makes up for that. And in all honesty, I might go see it again. That's how much I love this movie. I might go see it again. This is definitely one of the better films I've seen this year. I don't know about top 5, but it's definitely on my top 10, as of this moment at least. So I definitely look forward to watching Krampus again. It's definitely the one holiday movie I'm going to look forward to watching again now. Along with The Polar Express, Charlie Brown's Christmas. Definitely, and Gremlins. Oh yeah, of course Gremlins. In fact, I'm probably after this video, I'm going to go watch Gremlins because it's a great movie. So anyways, final verdict, go see Krampus. It's so worth checking out. Just, like I said earlier, just go in the right mindset and you'll have a blast watching it. So that being said, I'll go watch Gremlins. So, ciao, ciao.